John, thanks very much for joining us. This is truly an extraordinarily rare move by the Department of Justice. In your decades of legal work, including serving as President Nixon's White House counsel, have you ever seen anything like this?
Nothing. It was actually a brilliant move given the circumstances. What Trump did is he took his right of privacy about what was going on. Just as he was served a subpoena, he told nobody. When he had a search at his property, he could have told nobody, but he decided the opposite. He put out a really dubious press release where he attacked the institution, where he laid doubt about the process. And I think it was a foolish move, and it's going to come back and bite him, Wolf.
Trump says his attorneys and representatives were cooperating fully with the Department of Justice and the FBI, but does their refusal to unseal this warrant lead you to believe that's the truth?
Well, that could not be the truth. The Attorney General, Merrick Garland, is not the kind of man who would go to this extreme measure, as he said in his speech. He would use more friendly process to get the job done, but they were clearly not responding to a friendly process. So that's why they took the extreme action they had to take. And from what the reporting is, it indicates this was probably top secret information that Trump has squirreled away and refused to turn over. Top secret is really important. It isn't classified that way unless there's an expectation that it could cause exceptional damage to the national security. Wolf, that's serious, and that's why they obviously moved to get the property back in their own custody.
Former President Trump has tried to draw parallels, as you know, between the search of Mar-a-Lago, his home in Florida, and the break-in at Watergate, a subject you know well. As we learn more about this search and the Justice Department's desire for these documents to be unsealed, does that comparison hold up?
It's pathetic. It shows he has no knowledge of what happened with Watergate. Watergate was much more than a break-in, of course. It was a cover-up, and really it bore the evidence of Nixon's abuse of power. But you know something, Wolf? Nixon was an institutionalist. He wouldn't attack the FBI or the Department of Justice in just the blatant and blind way that Trump is. He knew those people. Maybe it's because Trump has never been in Washington, never worked with the people or really known them. But these are hardworking people who really have the best interests of the country in mind. So I think Trump's attacks are so far off base, as are the Republican Party.
So how do you see all this playing out, John? Any chance the federal judge doesn't grant the Department of Justice's request?
Well, if Trump makes a strong case on privacy, the judge might hear him out. But I think that's a bad position for Trump to be in, to make all these claims and then keep it secret. So he's between a rock and a hard place today. And I think the judge would obviously like to release it, since the government is the one who asked that it be sealed. And they are now asking unseal it. So again, this is an extreme nod, because Trump is who he is, a former president, that they're giving him this option. But it's not an attractive one for him.